We definitely say in England you eat with your eyes, but I don't think we have such a strong relationship with food presentation in our culture historically. We do more so now as we get more and more into like high-end restaurants. You can see the relationship between tableware designed for specific dishes. But I think this has a stronger history in Japanese culture. So it's nice to bring that in to the work we're doing with the pottery and extend the work we're doing in the pottery into the restaurants at County Hall, especially like a very tight link we're going to have with the soba restaurant. For every exhibition that we're doing at the County Hall Pottery Gallery, we're having a artist dinner. So it's a small dinner of about 20 people where people get to interact on a more intimate level over food with the artists, rather than a private view that maybe is a bit bigger and a bit busier. So it's quite informal but quite intimate, and I think it's nice. There's something about sharing food with people that promotes a relationship and a friendship and relaxes you when you're eating. You get a bit more relaxed. It's not an interview, it's not a conversation with a stranger, it's sharing a meal. We're making chicken bowls, which is a good practice for making soba bowls for the soba restaurant when it opens later this year. These chicken bowls are the start of this, the start of creating tableware in County Hall to develop communities and relationships between different people. The chicken bowls are quite fun. I have chickens, so I've sort of done a few little sketches of what I see in the morning when I go out and see my little chickens and feeding them, and they run towards us. So it's kind of this chicken in motion, this like running chicken, but quite simple. We want to do it like kind of freehand ink work, ink drawings, and have like that movement in the freeness of the brushworks. So we're just going to practice a few sketches of the chicken and then translate this to the bowl. It's a bit tricky because the bowl is curved, so you have to translate a flat drawing into a curved surface. But it's quite fun, and we're going to add a little touch of colour just to the coxcomb and the beak, just like little dashes of colour. I like to work with the curvature of my hand to sort of feel that bowl shape as I pull the clay up. I usually work by eye, thinking that it's roughly the same size. I think one of the beauties of throwing is that you don't make everything all the same, that they really feel handmade, that everyone has, each thrown bowl has a slight identity to it. I think it's quite nice that you can sense the atmosphere that the bowl was made in, and that each one has got this uniqueness to it. And then once we've thrown the bowl, we leave it on the bat. We leave it on there for a day, and then it goes leather hard, and then we turn it upside down and cut in a foot. So we're putting kind of a Japanese foot on these bowls. I think it's nice because it lifts the bowl up off the table. Once we've trimmed the bowls, they go into the kiln for a bisque firing. This takes at least 48 hours. So you've got a day of making, a day of trimming, a week of drying, and then 48 hours, 2 days in the bisque kiln. So you're almost at 2 weeks by the time it gets to glazing. What we're using here is just stains mixed with water, and then we put it back in the kiln for 3 days. So I'll put it on, let's say tonight, so I'll put it on Tuesday night, and then it will be ready on Thursday. It'll get up to top temperature at about 3 o'clock in the morning. It's about 100 degrees an hour, it goes up in temperature, and we need to get to 1,200 degrees. So it's 12 hours to get to top temperature, and then you need to make sure it cools down reasonably slowly. So I think we will use the same terracotta clay when we make different tableware at County Hall, so that it unifies the collection of tableware, even though we'll be making different shapes. And we've got our next artist dinner in July, so we're looking forward to that. And then hopefully the soba restaurant will be ready for our kind of winter artist dinner towards the end of the year, and it would be nice to be in that environment and really like having this kind of whole journey of the clay from the studio through to the gallery, through to the restaurant and conversations. So I think it's all coming together. Stages, we've got to get everything lined up, make sure everything's happening correctly. But it's all getting there. It's pretty exciting.